Signs, back to this topic. Are there signs that Donald Trump is losing some of his shine after surging all summer? What do you think? Did you see the crowd last night in New Hampshire? Is he really fading? Our political panel takes on that in a moment.
We'll be taking our jobs back from China and Japan and all of these other places that have been ripping us for years. I've been talking about this for 10 years, 15 years. No politician sees it. We're bringing our jobs back here.
Donald Trump on the stump again last night, talking tough at a rally in New Hampshire. New data suggesting his campaign might be coming back to earth. Do you believe it? Juan Williams, Fox News political analyst, Mercedes Schlapp, former media spokeswoman for President George W. Bush. How you guys doing? Good day to you.
Good morning.
Politico saying the onset of Trump fatigue has begun. I don't know. You had 4,000 people in a gym last night in New Hampshire, Mercedes. 4,000 people in New Hampshire. Any candidate would take that.
Absolutely. But I think for Donald Trump, after we've seen what happened in this week's debate, I think his momentum is stalling. I think that what you're going to see is his voters that are loyal to him, that really are following him on this immigration issue, on the jobs creation issue, they're going to stick with Donald Trump. The problem here is will he grow? Are his numbers going to grow? And I just don't see that happening, especially when you had such a strong performance by Carly Fiorina.
What do you think about that, Juan?
Well, I think that it's the media preoccupation with Donald Trump. That's the question. And, of course, that's directly related to the fact that the viewers want to see him, people want to hear about him, people are entertained by him, and you just can't get away from that. So there's a lot of fascination, a lot of bandwagon. I do not think that he got knocked out by any means at that debate. He did not have a great performance, but everything still is centered on Donald Trump.
Well,
Every controversy.
What do you think? He fought to a draw the other night in California, Juan? Is that...
Yeah, he didn't do well, especially on the foreign policy part. You know, the last part, he kind of fell off. But, I mean, early on, it was the entertaining. And so I think, yeah, he's still the champ because guess what? He was number one going in, Bill, and I think he's number one coming out.
But, Mercedes, I'll let you answer there, but I just want to show you a picture from last night. I mean, this joint was packed. I mean, everywhere.
No,
I mean, you don't think Hillary Clinton would like to have that crowd today in Durham, New Hampshire?
Oh, I'm sure. Believe me. But Bernie Sanders is getting that crowd, right?
Sometimes.
So but look what's happened. He's had a rough week. He had that one event out in Iowa where he pretty much stumbled along talking about foreign policy, and then he had the debate performance. But here's what you got. Guess who's been surging? Ben Carson, right? So we saw his numbers go up. Trump's kind of stay the same. And then now you have the Carly Fiorina factor. So I think that to say that he's still the champ, I think it's not true. I think we're moving in a different direction, and I think you're going to start seeing this in the polls.
And a lot of people argue we're uncharted territory here with a candidate like Trump. I mean, this is not a Herman Cain. It's not a Rick Perry from a few years ago or Rudy Giuliani from 8 years ago. He's a different guy. He's a master.
He won't be knocked out.
He can send out a tweet and dominate the news coverage for 24 hours. Okay,
that's
now,
right.
Rand Paul was on our show yesterday, and if you saw Wednesday night, these guys got a lot of bad blood between them. Thank you, T. Swifty. Here was what Rand Paul told us yesterday.
Nobody in America thinks you want some sort of buffoon who insults women and calls them ugly. Nobody wants that. And we think the characters are going to reshuffle. And I think at this point you're going to be surprised that in about a week there's going to be a whole new ball game going on. I'm not saying I'm going to be top yet, but there's going to be a whole new ball game in about a week.
So if he is right, Juan, who's the next to go?
To go?
Out.
Oh, well, I mean, you look at the edge there, you'd have to talk about Huckabee. I think, you know, Governor Walker had a terrible time there and really has not emerged in the way that people thought. And don't forget, Rand Paul himself, again, no traction down at the bottom of these polls. So I think the real dynamic to watch here, if people are right and Donald Trump has peaked at this moment, Bill, then you start to say, well, who takes the outsider mantle? Ted Cruz is in that position. Maybe some of the governors, you're thinking again of a Kasich, you know, maybe he would then push past Bush on that side. It's who's the insider, who's the outsider. If Trump is out, is gone as the outsider, look for a major reshuffle.
Okay, all right, that's interesting. Now, Mercedes, can you say today who will not be the nominee?
Who will not be the nominee? Well, I think we could start with the JV team. We've got, obviously, the Governor Jindal, Senator Rick Santorum, Governor Pataki. Those would be the ones that I would say would probably need to go. I think at this point, that's the big question is who's not going to be the nominee? Is that who's going to end up being the nominee is a $1 million question that we're looking at right now. So I think it's so unpredictable where it's standing. I think to Juan's point, you're going to have sort of that insider candidate and that outsider candidate. And I think where you will see that it's going to be a Governor Jeb Bush, Carly Fiorito can be in that mix. Trump obviously is going to stay in that mix as well. Marco Rubio. There's going to be those that are kind of that top tier candidates right now.
Okay.
It's going to be hard for those other candidates to break through.
Yeah, okay, but you're both on record saying Trump has peaked. Be careful.
I don't know that he's peaked, but I think it may have.
Quickly.
Okay.
Look,
who knows?
We'll see you together. Thanks, Mercedes. Thank you, Juan.
Thank
Talk to
you.
you real soon. Bye-bye.
Have a great weekend.
Thank you.